How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and I've got the next mission in the Modern Warfare Remastered campaign. This one's called Heat. It's a pretty good mission, but it definitely gets pretty hard at the end.
ETA on the chopper's at least half an hour, Captain Price.
No good. Few corpses for 10 minutes by then. Every ultra-nationalist psycho in Zakhaev's pocket is about to show up on our doorstep, coming to claim all that's happened.
Or what's left of them.
Right, we'll set charges along phase line Alpha on the southern hill. And more along phase line Bravo. We'll delay them all the way back to the top and hold our ground at the extraction point in the fields around the farm. Any questions?
Let's do this.
So you're on the same map that you was before all gilled up and one shot, one kill. So it's 8 hours after you killed Al-Assad. That was the guy you took hostage. And then obviously Captain Price went into his little flashback of shooting Zakhaev.
Ignore that load of bollocks. Their counter-attack is imminent. Spread out and cover the southern approach. Sir,
So when you start,
just say when.
basically follow Captain Price. Head over to this fence here, and there's going to be a shitload of people down here. It's not too bad at the minute because they can fire back, but because you're on the lip of the hill, they don't really do a whole lot. You haven't really got to do too much except just keep shooting a few people. You don't have to leave your position or anything. You can move back a bit, obviously, if you're reloading, but
Squad, hold your ground. They think we're a larger force than we really are. Copy.
that guy you can hear screaming. He's not dying or anything, he's just seen the prices in the black market on Black Ops. He knows what a joke it is. So anyway, if you keep shooting, you'll hear that hissing noise and they'll put smoke screens up. And eventually it'll tell you we're going to pull back a bit. And you see this chopper on the hill. If you run back, double round, you have to get onto this minigun, crouch to get into the helicopter. And if you hold L2, it'll spool up the minigun. It's a pretty good little section to do. That's your team, who were milliseconds off getting chewed up. The end of the bell, or the bell end, if you will. So basically, you just got to wait for people to start appearing down here out of the smoke. Pretty easy. Pretty fun to shoot. It can overheat, by the way, so just do like little bursts, but it's not bad. You can get pretty good usage out of it. Apologise again, they're just tiny little glitches that I really can't do anything about. I can't even recover the footage. So as you see now, 5 helicopters turn up. Make sure you get onto them nice and quick and shoot them. The reason why is you unlock a trophy soon called Fly Swatter, and to get that you have to shoot 8 helicopters out of the sky. That's the first 5. I tell you to fall back. I shoot a few cars if I can before I do. So yeah, that's 5 of the helicopters. If you don't get all 5 then, press start and just go to the last checkpoint, otherwise you'll have to go through the whole game. So when you pull back to this building, you've got like detonators in the windows. You can see they're lit up yellow. Press R2 to detonate them. And what I did here is swap my M249 saw for that. I nearly got the AK, but then I went for that with a scope. You'll see in a minute, it's the M249 saw is just too slow to aim. It doesn't snap onto people very well. It makes it a bit of a pain in the arse. So after you've done them 4 detonators, it'll tell you to push back to the farmhouse. This is the one you pushed up to a few missions earlier to catch Al-Assad. But when you get here, you'll see 3 rocket launchers leaning up on the fence. You need to pick them up and turn around, and you'll see these 3 helicopters. Shoot that one pretty quick. Sometimes he flies overhead. If you restart checkpoint, you'll only restart like 10 seconds ago, so it's pretty easy. So you've only got one RPG for each one, so make sure you hit them. But if you hit all 3 of them as well, you get a trophy called Fly Swatter, which that's it here. And it's a pretty rare one, ultra rare, 0.9% of people have got it, so it's definitely worth getting. So anyway, run into the barn, grab the javelin, and you have to shoot 4 tanks. These are pretty easy, you just point and it'll slowly lock on. To get these first 2 on the left hand side, you pretty much stand here and you can lock onto them pretty easy. To get the next 2 on the right hand side, you don't need to run around the front of the barn or this extra little shed. If you just come to the back here, it'll still lock onto them because it's the javelin, it fires up in the air, so you don't need to have a line of sight to it necessarily. So that's them 4 done. And then go and swap back to your weapon. Because of glitching and stuff, I did this mission about 3 times, so sometimes you'll see me with the M249, sometimes it'll be an AK. So once you've done this bit, you'll eventually get the airstrike team to fly over. It did actually glitch once for me, where that airstrike team never turned up, and I had to die on purpose just to get it to refresh. But once you got them, you get 10 of these. It's pretty easy to aim. Press down on the D-pad and you'll bring out like a radio, and you just... it has its aimer. It's pretty damn easy to work out. And as they're telling you on the radio, long story short, you were supposed to get picked up by a helicopter here, but now they're telling you there's too many enemies, so they need to pick you up at the bottom of the hill. Bottom of the hill that you just ran all the way up. And this bit here can be a bit of a pain in the arse. I do an airstrike out here and run down this side, the right hand side. The reason why is you've got this ditch. And as you'll see in the top left corner, it'll say checkpoint reached in a sec. So it's going to keep starting me in this ditch if I die, which I do. And I've only left 1 or 2 of them in because this mission is a bit of a pain in the arse. It seems to involve a lot of luck. Sometimes people just pour over the hill and kill you, sometimes they don't. And the problem I had is, even though I've just belly crawled down that ditch, now when I die, I don't even know what killed me, there was no grenade near me or anything, it's going to restart me in the ditch, but there's somebody behind me when it spawns me, which I'd already learned the hard way. And as you can see, I die pretty much as soon as I get spawned, but don't let that put you off. It will do it every now and then, but I just got used to it. As soon as I spawn, I turn around, I shoot the guy. I nicked his AK because it aims quicker than the M249, and then basically just belly crawl your way to that tunnel if you can. You want to do an airstrike kind of on the other side of the tunnel, and then when you get to the tunnel, do another one like at the side of the house. And basically you need to try and hit a checkpoint. As you can see here, it's a little bit risky, but this ditch definitely helps because there's people to the left and right that can't really shoot me at the minute unless they've got a line of sight. So there comes the second airstrike on that bit. That's why I'm able to push forward, and you can belly crawl for longer if you want, but what I do is just, as the rockets have just landed, run to the end of the ditch, pop any people to the left that helps your team pull up, and when I get to here, it's checkpoint reached. When you come down here, there's 3 people here. Again, because I did a few different edits, it's just swapped back to the M249, but I swapped back for a PS90. And you get a couple of people down here. They don't always appear, but if they do, there's not too many. To be honest, whoever was shooting me from behind seemed to be closer to killing me. I'm trying to wait a little bit to get my team to push up along with me. So when you get down to this bit, just put 2 airstrikes if you can. If you get shot, just hide behind the stump of a tree, but I've put 1 airstrike sort of roughly over there. Put another one there. I fucked that up, by the way. I was supposed to put it the other side of this petrol station, that's why I just kind of ran out of there pretty quick. And basically this is it, you're waiting for this helicopter to land. I like to try and wait for my teammates to turn up, but I can promise you they don't seem to turn up until you actually go in the helicopter. And as you can see, I get shot at quite a lot. You can die still here if you're just waiting for your team. They didn't seem to be here anywhere. That's one of them, but they're all out here. They're not doing anything, so I'd forget that. As soon as that helicopter lands, just run on the fucking thing. And you'll see it's like checkpoint reach, and then everybody will turn up. And that's about it for this mission. Like I say, it can get a bit hard on the way, pushing back down, but it's worth doing. Don't forget that fly swatter medal either. And that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.
Alright, we're all aboard! Go, go!
Okay, we're out of here. We got him and we're coming home.
Grenade their fish on the way to disrupt their food supplies.